The Kiwi Ears Ellipse. Let's talk about it. Now, this is a single dynamic driver headphone from Kiwi Ears. This is their second headphone. It usually costs $75, but I think they're selling it right now for $60. This is a sample sent by Kiwi Ears, and I wanted to thank them for sending this out. Let's start by talking about the build quality of this headphone. For a $60-ish headphone, the build quality is quite nice. The pads are comfortable. They're easy to take off and change out if you need to. The system is actually quite robust and easy to do. I really like it. The top band is really comfortable. It sits on ear really well. They're almost straight circles, so that might be a slight concern. Like, I might want something with like maybe slightly angled drivers, but like, it's not bad. It adjusts well. It feels comfortable on my head. I don't have any major faults with this, especially at this price point. I feel like it's a little bit reminiscent of, say, like a Beyerdynamic DT770, but you know, it's overall just a nice solid build quality. It feels like it's gonna last years, and I really appreciate the time and effort they did to build this beautiful headphone. Now, the cable, you can see the right and left connectors. I also like the red and blue lines. I think that's great. Now, it's a nice cable. It's fabric. You can see there's a Y split here, nothing too exciting. It is a very long fabric-y cable, but I mean, other than being a long cable and kind of a little bit prone to tangle, it's not bad. And you can actually change this out with other cables if you so want to try a different balanced cable for whatever reason. It terminates in a 6.3 screw connection, so you can pull that off and you can plug that in pretty much anything you want. It's a nice little cable. It's a little bit unmanageable. Let's take a look at that real quick. I mean, it doesn't lay super flat, but it's okay. So how does it sound? It sounds wide open, clean, clear, and crisp. It's a nice sounding neutral set. It has a few faults that I want to talk about in the sound, but overall, it's a very tolerable set. Recently, I reviewed the Kiwi Ears Division, their other headphone. It's a one-wire, very bassy set, and that was a little bit of a bassy V-shaped set, which isn't seen very often in the headphone space. This is a lot more neutral and a lot more chill, but it sounds good. Just it needs a little bit of a lift in a few areas, but it's overall a very nice headphone, and I'm impressed with the sound. I'm impressed with the cleanliness, and there's some great characteristics about this headphone. All right, let's look at this on Kiwi Ears' site. I mean, you could either buy it here or you could buy it on Linsol. I think Kiwi is kind of a Linsol like owned company in some ways, but it's, you know, it's a 50 millimeter dynamic driver. It has nice bass, has a nice little bass boost, and it has a lot of great things like the versatile attached cable we talked about earlier. This is the same cable you can use on Meze, Focals, Hi-Fi-Man, even like the Sierra Open has the same cable. Like, a lot of people use that termination. So if you have a lot of those cables all around, it's really easy to use this. And it also means that it's easy to buy other cables online on AliExpress or even Amazon, depending on what your needs are. All right, so these aren't my rigs, but this is Hawaii Bad Boys. You can tell, like, if you look at this, headphone measurements are hard to do. So actually, this is on Hawaii Bad Boys rig, but I actually use Super's target because it's a lot more flat target, and it gives us a better idea of what this is like. It has a nice little mid-bass boost, which you may or may not like, but it's very gentle. Well, you'll notice that it does have quite a bit of 7 to 8K energy, which isn't bad, but it does have a little bit of lacking this 2 to 3K region, which isn't really what I want, but it's not a terrible situation. It's kind of like a low pin gain, very neutral kind of a thing. And I wanted to talk about EQ just a little bit. when you EQ something, it's very easy to like maybe add a bass shelf over here or add a little bit of pentagain. But what it is hard to do is take a peak, kind of like this 6K, which that doesn't bother me that on this set, but it's harder to push a peak down. It's harder to EQ down than it is to EQ things up. So like an headphone like this, it's so flat, it's so neutral, it's really easy to EQ, and so it has a nice profile. And even out of the box, it doesn't have anything that's super offensive. It's just you might want a little bit more energy here, but you might like it there. I personally like a little bit more here and maybe a little bit more bass depending on my mood. But let's look at a few other graphs. Like if you look at this compared to the Division, you'll notice the Division has a ton, just a ton of more bass. Like, you know, if you normalize this at, say, I don't know, 300, just to get a better view of it, you'll notice that, like, look how much bass that looks like right there. And then it has just a ton. This is what you call a V shape. You can kind of see the V right there. But the Ellipse is such a different set. Less bass, less upper mids and treble, and it's kind of a nicer, different approach to sound that I think a lot of people will enjoy because it is chill and neutral and nice. I did find another graph of this. This is on Earphones Activity. It has a nice 5128 module. You can see it lacks a little bit here. We're going to show you like what you can do. I put in a different way, like just like a different target. But you can EQ to say a little bit more target. And this is kind of what I would personally recommend doing. Again, you might want more bass, but kind of what I would do is maybe dial this area back just a tiny bit and this area up. I'm going to post this EQ in the video notes. But I think with a little bit of EQ, this guy really shines. Without EQ, I still think it's a nice neutral set, but it just does feel a little bit relaxed. And then some of the details you might really like with this EQ even better. All right, so let's rank this guy up. I have a small headphone ranking list, and I try to rank things by stars, not by overall quality. I think the quality of this headphone is about appropriate for its price. It has nice little technicalities, but the overall thing about it is that it is easy to EQ. It has a nice value proposition for being only $60. I think there's a lot of reasons to like a headphone this inexpensive, and I think it's a great little headphone that a lot of people are going to enjoy. You know, it's interesting. Kiwi Ears actually has 3 more headphones coming out. A wood-cupped one that has 2 drivers, an ANC one, and I want to say like a gaming-focused one is 2, but it's kind of interesting to see how many headphones these guys are putting out. I think it's fantastic. I think this is a nice set. I think it has great build quality. I think, you know, if you're just looking for something pretty cheap that, you know, is easy to wear and has easy on the ears, I think this is a good sounding, solid headphone that isn't really offensive, and it's not going to make you hate stuff. Like, it's a clean sounding headphone. Oftentimes at this price, you kind of have to go to a gaming headphone. And I think this is a solid choice, especially at this price, with this great build quality from a good company. Thanks for watching my video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris, or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here.
Go! Go!
Go.
Go on with you!